Hello, this is Dr. Hui Liu from San Jose, California, United States. My email is ibridgepy@gmail.com. iBridgePy is an easy-to-use Python platform to help traders to build algorithm trading robots. It can backtest and live trade with interactive brokers, Robinhood, and TD Ameritrade. You can download iBridgePy from www.ibridgepy.com. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel because more tutorials are coming.
In this tutorial, I'm going to talk about backtesting using IBridgePy backtester for a strategy called buy low, sell high strategy using historical data from Yahoo Finance. IBridgePy backtester can use data from any data provider, including Yahoo Finance. The way to make it happen is user download historical data from third-party data provider and save them to local file. Then configure IBridgePy backtester to load historical data from local file. First, I'm going to talk about related YouTube tutorials if you want to know more background about buy low, sell high strategies or some other IBridgePy backtesting setups, please refer to these YouTube tutorials. To understand the topic in this demo, I would like to introduce other YouTube tutorial which is related to this topic. The first tutorial I'm going to introduce is called Build Buy Low Sell High Strategy, developed by a machine learning strategy. So you can refer to this tutorial. Then we have a detailed explanation about this strategy, how it's implemented in IBridgePy. So you can refer to this tutorial. To evaluate the backtest performance, we use Sharpe ratio. And IBridgePy has a tool to calculate Sharpe ratio. You can refer to this tutorial. Then you can refer to these 4 tutorials about backtesting. The first one is to backtest without any historical data ingestion. You can refer to this tutorial. To speed up the backtest, you can ingest historical data before backtesting starts. So you can go to take a look about this tutorial. Then you can download historical data from any third-party data provider and save the historical data to local file, and then load the file from load the local file and supply it to backtester. You can refer to this tutorial. To speed up the backtest, you can designating the spot times to backtest. So you can refer to this tutorial. This technique will make the backtesting very fast. Sometimes you may need to convert historical data format from, for example, epoch seconds to datetime. And we have a tutorial to introduce how to convert datetime to epoch and vice versa. Then we will talk about download historical data from Yahoo Finance. To start a backtest in IBridgePy backtester, you need to switch the data provider name to local file because the historical data will be loaded from local file. Then pick a start time and end time. Then specify the file name and using HistIngestionPlan. Then we will use the IBridgePy tool to analyze the strategy performance. We will talk about, after demo, we will talk about pros and cons, and then how to improve in the next steps. To the code and give you a real-time demo about backtesting in IBridgePy. So first, I would like to talk about the strategy we're going to backtest. This strategy is called close price reversion. And this strategy is very simple. The basic idea of this strategy is if yesterday's price is higher than today's close price, which means there is a price drop at the end of today's trading day, before market close. If there is a price drop from yesterday to today before the market close, then we assume there is a price reversion, which means tomorrow's price will go up. Then at this moment, before the market close, we place an order to long the position, which means we want to buy. And in this strategy, we want to buy 100% of the portfolio. If today's price is higher than yesterday's price, which means there's a price jump, then we think it's time to sell off our portfolio. Because yesterday there's a price jump and we got benefit, then it's time to sell. This strategy is here. There are two basic functions. One is initialize. In this function, we define shared variables in IBridgePy. So we have a variable called context.security to define security, which is the ticker is SPY, which is ETF to track SP500 index. We use SPY as a demo. And there's a IBridgePy function called schedule function. This function in IBridgePy is to schedule other functions to run at specific time. In this example, it takes three variables. The first one is called daily function actually, and this is the function name. We define daily function name here, which means we want to run this schedule to run this function at some time. And there is a date rule and a time rule. The date rule is what day you want to run this strategy, want to run this function. The day rule is every day, which means every trading day, because weekends we don't trade. And the time rule defines when in a day you want to execute this function. And we said we want 1 minute before market close. And this is the time rule. So which means this function will be triggered 1 minute before market close every trading day, which is 3:59 p.m. Eastern Time, because the US market closed at 4 p.m. And we assume the price at this moment will be very close to the real close price. And daily function is the function where the trading decisions are really made. So first, we print out the time when this function is triggered. So we use an IBridgePy function called getDateTime. And then we request historical data. Because we only need a daily bar and we only need yesterday's price, so we request historical data of SPY, and we want daily data. We want to go back 2 days. The close price is this. Yesterday's close price is this, and today's close price, even if the market is not closed, but we assume at this moment the price is very close to close price already. If close price today greater than yesterday, we want to sell. So we use an IBridgePy function called order target percentage. Otherwise, we long this position. And this is the strategy we are going to backtest in IBridgePy. To download historical data from Yahoo Finance, you need to open a browser and put finance.yahoo.com. Then you will be directed to this page. This is the main page of Yahoo Finance. Then you can go to this search bar and put in the ticker that you want to download historical data. For example, we put SPY, and this is the SPY we're looking for. So you can see SPY is a ETF trust tracking the index of SP500, and this is established by a company SPDR. So this is the SPY we are talking about. And then you can browse the critical statistics about SPY, but we are looking to download historical data for backtesting so that we can click historical data. And then this page will show you the historical data. You can see this is the historical data we are going to download. And just pretty long page. And you can see the frequency is daily. So Yahoo Finance have daily, weekly, and monthly data. For backtesting, we need to use daily data. So we just choose daily. Then we choose historical prices. That is what we are going to use in IBridgePy to backtest. Time period. Actually, if you click this one and you click max, it will give you from January 28th, 1993, go back to even today. And then you can click download. Then the download you can put to, actually I will go to documents, go to this one, and this is my IBridgePy folder, and put it into input folder. You can click, because I have downloaded before, but I want to replace it. So right now I have the latest spy.csv file in the folder right now. And let's open it up to see what's going on there. Then we can let's open it. Let's go to the IBridgePy folder and look for input and go to SPY, and it is created today. So this is the CSV file. We can see the first row is the header, which means date, price, open, high, low, close, adjusted close, and volume. And IBridgePy can read in this format for backtesting, so we can close it. Then we have the historical data in my local file. Let's switch to the demo part. The file I'm going to use is called test.me simulated by daily bars. Test.me.py is the main entrance of IBridgePy backtester. So the first step is to choose the strategy you want to backtest. And the file buy low sell high strategy in my local folder is in the public examples, and the file name is demo close price reversion.py. So I choose this file. And then IB interactive broker account code I put there in case I need to retrieve historical data from IB, but it will not be used in this demo. Next line, data provider name. This line, I use the value which is local underscore file, which means when IBridgePy backtester needs historical data, it will look for data supplied from local file. Then I use IBridgePy reserved word. HistIngestionPlan. This is a variable reserved word in IBridgePy, and it is an instance of HistIngestionPlan. This is the class name. And this variable is used to describe what historical data are needed during backtesting, and IBridgePy backtester will fetch this data before backtesting to speed up the whole backtesting process. And in buy low sell high strategy, we need historical data because we always need to check the price of yesterday's close price. And in the strategy, we talk about using request historical data and go back 1 day and daily bars, so that in the HistIngestionPlan, we must provide at least a daily bar, so that during the backtesting, we can simulate the close price of yesterday. That's why we must supply the daily historical data, daily bars, into backtester. To do that, we use HistIngestionPlan dot add. Use this way to add individual plan. And then we call it plan. In this plan, there are 3 variables. The first one is security. We are going to talk about SPY. The bar size is string 1 day, which means this is a daily bar. Then I want to supply the historical data using a local file, so that I put file name spy.csv. We have downloaded the historical data from Yahoo Finance and save it to the folder of input. We can see this file is right there, spy.csv. If we open it up, the first line is the header, and then the historical data starting from 1993 to today. So this line tells IBridgePy backtester that when you need daily bar data for SPY, load this file. Actually, IBridgePy backtester will load data from this file before backtesting starts and supply this data to backtester. So this line, come back to this line. This line tells IBridgePy that for SPY, when you need minute bar data, what you need to do is to simulate minute bar data by daily bars. First, why do we need minute bar data? The reason for that is IBridgePy, in our buy low sell high strategy, the transactions happens at 3:59 p.m., 1 minute before US market close. In IBridgePy backtester, it needs to simulate the transaction, but IBridgePy does not know the transaction price at 3:59 because there's no way to know it. We only have daily bar data. However, we still want to simulate the transaction, but we don't have minute bar data because daily bar data is easily available, but minute bar data most of the time is not free and is not easily accessible. So in IBridgePy, we use a simulated way to simulate the minute bar data. So we put the data source name is simulated by daily bars, which means whenever we need the transaction price at 3:59, so the price will be simulated from the daily bar. For example, and let's say today is January 9th. So let's say January 7th. There is transaction happens on 3:59 p.m. on January 7th. Then the price at 3:59 will be simulated by the daily bar of January 7th. And The default is to use the close price of daily bar to simulate this minute bar price. That's why I put simulated by daily bars, and the bar size is 1 minute. The next part is to use the spot simulation time to go through the simulation, because in our strategy, the transaction only happens at 3:59. It's pointless to run other times through the backtester, so that we use a reserved word in IBridgePy, which is a custom spot time list, and then we designate each simulation time. For example, we run it from October 30th to December 24th, and we replace the time by by this line, so that the simulation time will always be 15:59. So to understand more about this part of code, you can go through the related tutorial to talk about. So this part comes from the spot simulation, and this part comes from the simulated by daily bars. So we have different tutorials to talk about different parts of this code. And the references are listed here, so you can go through them when you have time. Then the next part is let's run the simulation to see how it goes. This one is simulated by daily bars. Let's run this one. Oh, it's done already. Pretty quick. So let's take a look about the information here. So the first part is data injection starts. Ingested historical data from this file. As we expected, it comes from input and it comes from this file. And then it tells us ingested for SPY, the bar size is daily bar and from local file. To verify we loaded the correct information, we verify it's 1993 because we downloaded from Yahoo Finance. And the last one is January 8th, yesterday. And then IBridgePy backtester start to simulate the transaction. So we can see the transaction, the function, daily function is triggered from November 2nd, 3:59, and keep going until November 6th, there's a transaction happens. So we can see the transaction happens. IBridgePy said we bought SPY 285 shares. The price is 359.16. This price is simulated from daily bar, which means the close price of November 6th is this price, and we use the close price to simulate the minute price. The minute price is 3:59. We use close price to simulate 1 minute before the market close, before the close price happens, and then go through the simulation. You can see bought, sold, keep going until December 23rd. This is the backtesting part. And the next step is to visualize the simulation result by going to a folder called Tools. And we have a tool to visualize that. During the backtesting, there are 2 log files are created, and the folder is output. Two logs. One of them is balance log. This is the latest one. Balance log has 4 columns: date, time, account, portfolio value, and cash value. And if we make a plot, use simulation time versus portfolio value, then we can visually see how the simulation, how the strategy performs. The transaction log have the log of every transactions, the same as you see in this console part. So that we use IBridgePy to make a plot to visualize that. So go to Tools, Portfolio Sharp Ratio, because we will analyze the Sharp Ratio based on the simulation, and then make a plot. So this function will look for the transaction logs, a balance log in the output folder, and read in the latest the balance log and draw a plot. And let's run it. Okay, you can see the account performance portfolio started from 100,000, which is the default value for IBridgePy backtester, and goes up like this one. Okay, this is the simulation result from, let's see, from January to December. What if we go back, say, 20 years? And I had a simulation, and this is the simulation result, starting from 100,000 and goes to today. So this is if we run it back to 20 years, it will look like this. One thing I want to mention is this tool will print out the annualized Sharp ratio based on the simulation result, and it's calculated at 4.5 for this strategy based on this simulation period. After the demo, it's time to talk about the pros and the cons about this backtest strategy. So in this backtest strategy, we download historical data from Yahoo Finance. And the pros is Yahoo Finance provides much more historical data, specifically daily data, than Interactive Brokers provides. So we can see the historical data even goes back to 1993 to today. So a lot of daily historical data. The cons of this setup is users still need to do a few manual steps. For example, open a browser, go to Yahoo Finance, and go to historical data page, download and save file. So a few manual steps. And then you need to save the file and serve the file in IBridgePy backtester. So that's something we can improve. So the next tutorial we are going to talk about is to improve that by using IBridgePy data center. So because it is integrated with IBridgePy backtester already, so users don't need to do manual steps. Just put IBridgePy data center, then these steps can be saved.
Thank you very much. For any questions, please send an email to ibridgepy@gmail.com. If you need any help on coding, please check out our well-known Run a Coder service. More tutorials are coming. Please don't forget to subscribe. IBridgePy is an easy-to-use Python platform to backtest and live trading. Thank you very much.